Hello everyone, my name is Lance Ash, and I'm heading back to work after a 3-day weekend. Really good weekend, got a lot done, but more than that, felt good all weekend. Made myself work out, and got some painting done, got some writing done. Went to a new comic book store in Commerce, Georgia. My wife suggested that she read about it in the paper and drove up there, and it was a big nothing. Most of the store was taken up with collectible toys. One table full of superhero comics, and the dude who runs the place goes, "All my retro magazines are in the back." That's all I would have been interested in. I go back there. He had a single box full of old Mad magazines and a couple of old issues of Starlog and Fangoria. Just, the most run-of-the-mill crap possible. I walked in and walked right back out. What the hell was that noise? There was a dude out front dressed up as Batman greeting people who went in, and they had a car done up like the car from the old TV show Knight Rider, and it was playing random phrases that the car would say from the show. Let's investigate further, Michael. It's just crap. Oh, so irritating. Anyway, what is all that racket? My wife drove the car, and every time she drives it, when everything's out of order. Anyway, I don't have any topics. I'm sorry. Went to the big book sale, Oconee County Library book sale, and I got 3 CDs. 2 Ricky Lee Jones CDs, which, to be honest, weren't very good, and 1... I've already told you all this. Oh, no. I must have told this on the other program. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I like Ricky Lee Jones, but one of the albums is basically a covers album, and she does a version of Sympathy for the Devil, and it's horrible. This is what it sounds like. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and peace. Horrible. Oh. Anyway, in a minute when I'm driving a little more clear space, I'll go through the CDs in my bag. Okay. What have we got in the bag today? Well, we have Blind Melon's first album. This is an album I got over the weekend at a thrift store. This is Erasure. This is their Cowboy album. I keep getting Erasure albums thinking I'll like them, and I never do. Alright, this is an album from 1970 by Miles Davis called Live Evil. And this is Rush's last record, Vapor Trails. This is the remastered version with the heavier drums. I've got both versions. This is The Church, Hologram of Baal. This is Sabbath Bloody Sabbath by Black Sabbath. This is Presence by Led Zeppelin. And we're back where we started. Okay, yeah. Oh, so that didn't take up much time. Watched George Rockwell Schmidt's latest video on PragerU, and I thought it was fabulous. It was just damning. Speaking of damning, All this flap about Russell Brand, I love, because I never liked him. I'm always suspicious of some good-looking rebel who comes out and, wants to tell you exactly what to think and believe. And now he's being brought low. I love it. Plus, apparently he's pro-Trump. I just, this I think, there's still a basic, in American politics, there's a basic dichotomy between Hillary Clinton as a stand-in for the entire Democratic Party, and then Trump, or whatever the Republicans throw up. And since a lot of progressives have an issue with Hillary because she's tied to big business and she voted for the war, man, that's all they can see. We can't vote for her. She's tainted. I'm sorry. Don't you see that Trump and the Republicans and the Christians are tainted even more? The liberals want to tell us exactly how to run our lives. You are blind if you think that. If you think the Republicans don't want to tell you how to run your life, worse. And I agree, there's a certain truth there. Both sides want to tell you how to run your life, want to tell you what's bad for you. I agree, but it's far worse on the right, on the right side of the political spectrum. I don't know, man. Sick of it. And the thing is, I remember when the whole flap with Andrew Sachs and his daughter came out, but I didn't know that Russell Brand was part of the people who did that to him. If you don't remember, I can't remember exactly, I didn't have time to look it up, but several years ago there was something about, Andrew Sachs is the actor who played Manuel on Fawlty Towers. That's what he's best known for. There was something about his daughter. It was some sexual scandal or something. I can't remember. Maybe it was a prank they played on her and him both. I can't remember. But I had no idea that Russell Brand was the one behind it. He was one of the ones behind it. Anyway, spiderwebs all over the power lines. Jesus. Anyway, I'm heading back to work, and I do not want to go. Had such a good weekend, such a beautiful state of mind, relaxed and receptive to art. Oh, I just had such a good time. Just, where your mind is free. And now I got to go back, and there are people at work who play their music out loud. And, it's not just the type of music, which I hate to begin with, but it's also the fact that it's intruding on my consciousness. I can't think. And that's how I get through the night. That's how I get through a work shift. And they don't understand that, because conscious thought for them that's a rarity. What we want is social interaction. We want to, play music that we all like, that we all agree upon, and we can boogie down together while we talk about shit that we care about and nobody else, it's just so irritating. And if you complain, the supervisors just seem to look at you like, what? I don't quite understand what your problem is. Don't you like Beyonce? Or Beyond, or however you pronounce it. I don't give a shit. Oh, God. We went through a phase a year or two ago where on a nightly basis, and I'm not exaggerating, I had to hear Whitney Houston's version of I will always love you. Oh, God. Talking about that comic book store and the Knight Rider car, that was the dumbest show. And I watched, I wasn't a regular viewer, but I have to confess, I've probably seen 6 or 7 episodes of it. It was so stupid. I admire a lot of European culture and European society, but the fact that David Hasselhoff carved out a career in Europe as a pop singer in Europe is unbelievable. Oh dear. I see this chick is on the sidewalk over here. I see her walking home from work every day. I don't know where she works, but she's one of these little women that have sort of a, I don't know, I don't want to say butch look, but just, I don't know, look like the kind of woman that would join the Air Force. Oh dear. Got a bad feeling about the upcoming election. I think that a few rural counties spread out over the American West are going to give Trump the Electoral College victory. And we are going to be in for a hell of a ride when that happens. Biden really ought to fake a horrible injury or horrible illness right now and resign and give. He should have done it a year ago, giving Kamala Harris a good solid 2 years as the president, because that we would have a better chance of being retaining the White House. Americans are so okay, I don't want to get into it. I really don't. The only reason I'm tempted to is because I have no topics. I'm trying to think. Is there anything I can go over? Of course, I watched Peep Show again this weekend. Just about squeezed every bit of content out of it. Entertainment, nutrition. Need to find something else. Oh, my wife finally found the good razors. She couldn't find them for a while because they'd moved them in the store. So I was reduced to using these cheap-ass razors. The good ones, as far as I'm concerned, are the Gillette. My face feels so smooth. This other one just tore my face up. Oh dear. It was interesting. Okay, for those of you who aren't familiar with the program, the channel, I live right outside of Athens, Georgia. Anyway, Commerce, Georgia is a town about 30 minutes from Athens. And I haven't been there in a couple of years. And you're driving through there, and you can tell, like 100 years ago, 110 years ago, it used to be something. And you see all these big houses and places that were clearly some sort of businesses. And you just wonder what was the source of the business industry. I mean, I can only imagine, I think it was a big railroad hub, I think, at one time. And you can only imagine farmers from the surrounding area bringing their produce, their products into the town and loading them up on trains. It's just hard to imagine what life must have been back then. Must have been like back then. I don't know. I have a lot of, romantic notions about, living back in the, I don't know, the 50s, the early 60s. But really, I wouldn't want to go back in time. I don't know if I could stand it. The lack of modern medicine. And plus, I'm addicted to the internet now, like everybody else is. I like information on demand. But on the roads leading into Commerce, you see just poverty, trash. Oh God, it's unbelievable. I wish I brought my camera with me that day. It's amazing. I don't know how people live. I really don't. Oh, she's changed the setting on the distanceometer between you and the car in front of you. I have cushions in the seat. I have to have in order to ride properly. And she took them out and threw them in the back seat and had to reorder the cushions. I don't know, I'm just rambling. Of course, that's the whole point of the show, is just to ramble. I'm dreading going back in. I hate feeling really good, upbeat, and having to go in there and be knocked down, swamped with other people's bullshit. I hate it. I hate the work. I hate the supervisors. I hate the other people that work there. I remember when I was younger, I would socialize with my coworkers, and I'd make friends with people I worked with, and socialize with them outside the workplace. That just doesn't happen anymore. It's odd. I don't know how many. I got fucked over by people that I worked with many times in the past. People who met my girlfriend and slept with her. Oh God. That happened a couple of times. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I ever... I don't know, I can't remember. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I don't have anything to say, really. My wife made banana muffins with blackberries in them as an experiment. They're pretty good. I like blackberries, but the little seeds in them are a little bit irritating. There's trash all over the road today. What's going on? The University of Georgia had a home football game on Saturday, and we drove straight through town to go home, and all these people were walking down towards the stadium, right? And all of these young girls were wearing white mid-calf boots with shorts or mini skirts. And it must be, I don't know what's going on. Is this a fad? Is this a trend? Is this something they were ordered to do? I don't know, it's bizarre. Be sure to wear your white boots this Saturday. Show support for the dogs! Oh my God. Alright, we're approaching the end of the show. See if I can ramble a little bit further here.